the word right here. And now we're told that this is, they even have a little girl over here, a little baby girl that, I don't, was that her hair? I thought she just had a wig on, but then I started to read up on more of it, and it's actually a weave that she has. It's not just a wig or whatever, but it is a weave. What they say, mother like daughter, right? Mother like daughter. The good news for us is that there is a way out. The bad news is that many have turned deaf to reproof and rebuke. You understand? And thus, this here, this hair health, black hair health crisis. Yeah, black hair health crisis. Right? It's not just okay. They straighten the hair, so forth and so on. But now we're seeing that there's a medical, right? Well, maybe they're going to get Obamacare. Maybe Obamacare is going to help them out. And I'm saying that sarcastically, because more are going to die. Like Bob even said, many will have to suffer, right? Many will have to suffer. Many will have to die. Don't ask me why, because Jah already told us, and Jah is not mocked. Black woman, are you listening? Jah is not mocked. You are being mocked. But see, that's the thing about a deceived person. You understand? One who is deceived, right? So we can shout at them, we can argue with them, we can even mock them, right? I would say, brothers and sisters, we would need to pray that if Jah is willing, in Yeshua, in the Black Messiah, may they come to their senses before it's too late, because this crisis is going to get worse before it gets better. Yet, like with Eve, like with biblical Eve was deceived, yes. The man wasn't deceived, but bros, no need for you to, the man wasn't deceived, the woman was deceived, if it wasn't for the woman, such and such. This is what the same argument coming out against these here had it biatches, right? Here had it, they like the term bitches, I was shocked. We're not supposed to say the word nigger, you understand? But it's all right to say the word bitch, because remember, the serpent has crept in the garden, right? And Adam allowed it, right? Many of, I never liked this, really. I'll be honest with you. I try to deal with the person and not excuse the here. I'm talking about my own experience. First time I had a girlfriend, and she had this kind of hair. It was seductive. It was a seduction in a sense. You know what I mean? This happened about 20 or more than 20 years ago. And then I ran my hair. I did the so-called nigger biatch, unpardonable so-called sin. I tried to run my hair through her head. You understand? And then as I put my hair through her head, it hit up on something. It's like I thought I was caught in a bear trap. And I was like, and then she jumped up, and it was a little bit comical on a certain level. And then she kind of showed me what it was about and everything. She, eventually took that out and everything of her hair, because I was into the knowledge and not just the knowledge, but because of grace. The relationship didn't bear fruit of a relationship. I don't want to even get into some of my personal, even though it's a testimony. But I'm just testifying to the first time that I encountered, this, and it was like actually. Anyway, this is a crisis. There is a real epidemic. There's a real health crisis. That's what I want to point out. I mean, let's click on this one right here so you can see this. There is a health crisis. When I look at some of these pics, this is like something out of like a cartoon, right? This is like something out of Disney or something like that. It must be part of that princess syndrome. Part of it is the princess syndrome. So some of it has been programmed right, programmed. So like when we go back to the whole thing about the white doll and the black doll, ones had done studies out there where a young black girl, when asked which doll was more beautiful, right, she said, oh, it's the white doll. You know, a lot of people were kind of outraged about that. And see, this is living in the image of somebody else. You know, we can even say living in the image of the beast, but this is not to demonize so-called white folks, even though some of y'all say it's all the white man's fault. Right? It's like saying it was all the devil's fault. Well, the devil had his hatred, you understand? But if the black man, right, was speaking up, and even myself, I must admit, when, you know, this girlfriend of mine, you know, it did look sexy, and whatever that means, you know, based on these images, right, based on these images, you know, based on this particular image, it did seem sexy and nice and everything. But once, maybe that's why a lot of black women, you know, they say, you know, don't touch their hair. You know, because once I touched it and once my fingers ran into that bear trap, you see, you know, once my fingers ran into that bear trap and everything, that really, it was no longer sexy to me. It wasn't. It was, you know, it was like, what is this? You know, what is this? You know, so here we see a couple of, I mean, you can even see the mannequin. It's like the people are looking like mannequins. They had some pictures of some of these women, black women, and at first I could not tell whether it was whether it was a human being or whether it was a mannequin. And the health crisis is also psychological, right? It's spiritual, it's psychological, and as we've been pointing out, lace front weaves cause cancer. It's proven. It's a fact. You know, whether you like it or not, it's a fact. You can say that it's not going to happen to you until it happens to you. It's a fact, right? It's a fact. Perms cause fibroids. It's a fact, right? It's a fact. So when we start hearing, you know, folks say, oh, I have alopecia, I have this, I have that. You know, the European, for their Negropean creation, they'll make up some diseases. They'll find some Latin words and call it something. They say, oh, my condition is, my doctor said my condition is such and such and such and such. It matters not, right? It matters not. Your grandmother, your great-grandmother. You see, we're talking about health here, right? We're talking about health here, right? We're talking about life. We're talking about, well, I guess that's not what's important. You know, I guess that's not what's, and what is up with this pucker up sort of thing? You understand? Instead of going down to Egypt, right? You know, speaking about Martin Luther King Jr. and his dream. Did you know that the dream that Martin talked about wasn't part of the script? He flipped the script on the script, sure, and he also flipped the script on the script. But that actually, if you look at a CNN documentary, right, on Martin Luther King Jr., in the CNN